Shabbat Shalom and Chag Pesach Sameach. I suppose if you're like me, you've had Pesach on the brain lately. I said before that this holiday requires a lot of preparation, and we're into the thick of it now. But one way we really need to prepare for Pesach is to prepare ourselves on the inside. And so there's a text that we read in conjunction with Pesach in synagogue. It's taken from the Tanakh. It's the book Shir HaShirim, or Song of Songs. Let me read you just a little bit of it here. Shir HaShirim Asher Lishlomo, the Song of Songs that is of King Solomon's. Yishakeni minishikot pihu, ki tovim dodecha miyayim. One very nice translation I know says, "Oh, that he would kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your kisses are sweeter than wine." So one question that might occur to you is, what is this doing in the Tanakh? A line like this. And actually there's much more in the Song of Songs, more explicit. Love between human beings is a fascinating topic, but it's not what you'd usually look for in the Tanakh. Why did the rabbis decide to include this book in the lineup of books that we find in the Ketuvim, the writing section of the Bible? Well, Rabbi Akiva, I think, was the one who won the day for the inclusion of Shir HaShirim in the Bible. He said that of all the books of the writings, Shir HaShirim is the holy of holies, the holiest of all. And exactly what did he mean by this? Well, the rabbis interpreted that this intensely delicious and explicit love poetry was more about the love of God for human beings and the love of human beings for God than even about the love between human beings. And the fact that this was applied to the celebration of Pesach, I find to be very, very interesting. Pesach is fun. You know, we have the Pesach Seder, and the Pesach celebration is most enjoyable. But we don't generally conceive of it in terms of the love of God for human beings and the love of human beings for God. And yet this is exactly what going forth from Egypt is really all about. Going forth from slavery towards the promised land of our dreams, in the way that we put it last time, is really about removing the barriers of relationship between human beings and between human beings and God. We all, I think, would do better to express more of our love to our fellow human beings. We have such deep problems in the world today because of the non-expression of love, and explicitly because of the expression of the opposite of love, hatred, envy, jealousy, conflict that comes out of this with often very tragic consequences. So how is it that we can remove the barriers to love, particularly the love between God and human beings? I think that we begin with the love that we know, the love that we have for our spouses, the love that we have for our children, the love that we have for parents, the love that we have for the people of Israel, perhaps the love that we have for our country. Perhaps we can even move on from there to the love of humanity as a whole. This love that we experience on a daily basis is the place to begin with trying to understand love between God and human beings. It's the same basic impulse. In fact, I would say that the love that we experience for humanity and for the significant others in our lives is just really a strand, a gift from God that is a taste of the love that God has for us and the love that we ought to have for God. You could say that what we love about another human being is the divinity that we cherish within them and the divine qualities that they manifest in their lives. Qualities of compassion, of giving to others, of being sensitive to the needs of others, of being able to do the right thing even under stressful circumstances, even when the sway of society may dictate a different course of action. These are lovable and adorable and wonderful qualities that we appreciate in our fellow human beings. I maintain that they are gifts from God. And what is it that is so wonderful about having the ability to love God as God, something that we don't see so often in Jewish life today? Well, let me put it to you this way. Rabban Gamliel had a teaching about 1800 years ago, and this is what he shared. He said, do God's will as if it were your will, and God will then do your will as if it were His will. So there's an advantage to aligning one's desires with the desires of the Creator, with loving the Creator and serving Him. When one aligns one's desires, one's will, with the will of the Creator, one is allied with the most powerful force in the universe, and inevitably then one gets one's way in life. There's another part to Rabban Gamliel's teaching. He says, set aside your will before the will of God, and God will set aside the will of others before your will. So this is a technique of surrender, of putting aside what we may want for ourselves in favor of what God wants for ourselves. Inevitably, the higher intelligence, the higher understanding, the higher creativity will be the one that is superior in its results for our lives. And that will give us, I believe, the most love, the most happiness, the most fulfillment possible. That will be the impulse that takes us out of Egypt and into the promised land of our dreams, more than any other thing that we could possibly do. And so this Pesach, when we celebrate our Seders together, realize that the people with whom you are celebrating are ideally the objects of your greatest affection, and you hopefully are the object of their greatest affection. And any blocks, any obstacles that you have to expressing love between one another, hopefully the Seder ritual will be a step in removing those blocks. And in removing the obstacles to love, may we continue to progress out of the slavery of Egypt. May we continue to progress beyond the influence of the little Pharaoh that we have inside that tells us that we can't do this and we can't feel this way and we can't accomplish this in life. May we come increasingly under the sway of the Moses that is also part of everyone's personality, the Moses that leads us onward to higher levels of love, happiness, fulfillment, creativity, all good things in life. And may you experience these things very, very soon as a result of your devotions this coming Pesach. And may it be that, just as the teaching that Pesach really means Pesach, a mouth that can speak, a mouth that can articulate our highest ideals and our highest goals, may we have that clear conception of where we want to go in our lives, and so achieve the highest levels of love and loving kindness that are available to each one of us. So again, Shabbat Shalom, Chag Pesach Sameach, and enjoy your Seders.